First of all, 250 plus comments. I didn't expect that much love. Thank you, genuinely. You asked for the skins? I cooked. 3 things today. My fix for the Hellfire Gala 2026 skin, the Black Queen from Dark XMen, and a summer special nobody asked for, but everyone needed. Let's get into it.
Let me start with the base and reference first. Now, here's my concern, and it's not about the rushed release. If you Google Fashion Queen of Marvel, Emma Frost appears. Undeniably. That's who she is. That's her entire identity. And here's something most people don't know. Emma Frost first appeared in Uncanny X-Men 129 in January 1980. That's over 45 years of being Marvel's most iconic fashion character. 45 years. And Marvel Rivals still hasn't given her a single skin that reflects that. The closest they ever came wasn't even a playable skin. Remember the Rogue and Gambit wedding event? Emma appeared in an absolutely stunning suit in that cutscene. They had it, right there. Never made it into the game. Now, I love Marvel Rivals' art style, where artistic design looks more attractive than realism. But Emma deserves a skin that uses that art style properly. Here's another thing. Emma Frost considered her revealing wardrobe to be one of many weapons in her arsenal, something that gave her an instant psychological advantage over others. Her fashion isn't vanity, it's strategy. And NetEase is missing that entirely. The Hellfire Gala was modeled after the real-life Met Gala. Emma Frost is literally Marvel's version of a Met Gala host. NetEase named their entire Season 2 after her event, and still gave her a cape swap. Here's my version. Same process, base and reference first. Emma Frost is almost always in white. That's her signature, her identity, her politics. But here's what most people don't know about how she ended up in black. Emma was originally just a dancer at the Hellfire Club. When the audience mocked her performance, she lashed out mentally. And that's when Sebastian Shaw found her, attacked her, and forced her to fight back. When she did, he realized they could reel the Hellfire Club together. That's how the White Queen was born, from being humiliated on a stage. Now, fast forward to Dark Avengers Uncanny X-Men Utopia #1. Norman Osborn appointed Emma to lead his Dark X-Men, as the government's official sanctioned X-Men. She handpicked every member, for her own reasons. She was a double agent the entire time, secretly working against Osborn from the inside. And she said it herself. Not my usual color, but I suppose it'll have to do. The White Queen put on black not out of defeat, out of strategy. Interesting fact, fans and comic critics at the time called this bad writing, said Emma would never abandon her white. But that was exactly the point. The black costume was the clue that something was wrong. Slightly gives Black Cat vibes, but I think it turned out good. I know you were waiting for this one. This skin is a fusion of 2 official comic references. First, X-Men Volume 6, number 23, Beach Scene with Cyclops. Cyclops shows up with news about Jean Grey. Emma's response? I'm not in the mood. I don't have the time, though I do appreciate your provocative attire. Peak Emma Frost energy. Second, Marvel Swimsuit Special, Friends, Foes, and Rivals #1. Official 2025 Marvel release, limited to 2,000 copies. Emma Frost as a full beach icon. X logo clasp front and center. Interesting fact, 16 million mutants died in the Genosha Massacre, and Emma was the only survivor because she turned herself into her diamond form. This woman survived the worst thing to ever happen to mutant kind. She's earned the right to be unbothered at a beach. I fused both into one summer special skin. The footwear is awkward, I'll be honest, but the rest I'm happy with.
Marvel Rivals consistently delivers for almost every character. But Emma, every single time, they leave something on the table. Even Rogue, released after Emma, already has better skin quality. Quick fact before I go. After the fall of Krakoa, Emma Frost actually married Tony Stark to avoid suspicion from Orcus, forging an alliance that helped put an end to the anti-mutant crusade that destroyed Krakoa. Emma Frost married Iron Man to save mutant kind. I have more ideas. Summer special cloak and dagger. Casual fit Emma Frost. Moon Knight Age of Khonshu costume. Drop a comment. Should I keep cooking or stop here? If this hits 250 comments, part 2 is happening. 10 to 12 hours of drawing, 2 hours of scripting and editing. If you made it this far, drop a comment. It genuinely tells me you're watching. Until then, signing off.